Hi, parents. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today for this presentation that is very helpful for all the parents in Alvin ISD. We have today two of our own librarians, Miss Anita Phipps. She is the librarian at Mary Merrick Elementary, and we also have Miss Kelly Russell, and she's the librarian at Shirley Brothers Elementary. My name is Ana Pasarela. I am the Director of Family and Community Engagement, and we welcome you. We are very glad that you're here. This is a workshop that I like to offer every year, and I'm very thankful for these two librarians. They always present for us. They do a great job. And can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Anita?
We can hear
We can
you.
hear you, but
Okay,
it looks like
okay.
you have one that can't.
Okay, there was some apparent that I couldn't hear. So anyway, we are going to be presenting for all the grade levels. So they do a great effort trying to help everybody. If you have any question, we have the microphones muted and we also have the cameras off for everybody. But please use the chat or the chat feature to ask any question. We're going to be monitoring those, and if it's something that we need to answer during the presentation, they will do that. But if it's something that can wait until the end, we'll wait until the end to respond to all the questions at the end. Thank you so much. And Anita and Kelly, you can go ahead and start.
All right. Hi, everybody. Like Anna said, my name is Kelly Russell. I'm the librarian at Shirley Brothers. I've been here since we opened. And this is Miss Phipps. She's the wonderful librarian at Merrick, and she's been there for
15 years?
long time.
Long
time. So we're excited to share with you today. I want to tell you before we even begin, we planned for this over a month ago, and as we were refreshing this week, like to make sure that we were prepared, I was just reminded how often like the interface that you're dealing with technology changes. So if we show you something today and it looks different a week from today, just be patient and click around, and that's how I kind of problem solve. Often you can always reach out to us. I'll tell you that the district I came from before wasn't quite as tech savvy. So I had a huge learning curve when I came 6 years ago. And I never thought I would know as much about technology as I do now. Still not an expert. But a lot of that I've learned just from clicking and experimenting with things. So we're just going to start. Hopefully all of you are familiar with Clever Login now. That's the single sign-in that our district is using for students this year. Let me present my screen for you. We did a tab. Here we go. All right, so your student should be able to go to clever.com. And the first time you're going, if it's not from a district computer, you might have to select Alvin ISD as your school district. Then you'll click login using Google. Let me put in another account here.
Right. So they can see from scratch.
So you're going to want to put your student's full email address. Sorry about that.
Hey, we're on. Let's go Google Meet. Can we call you back?
All right. All right, so once you get logged in, it's going to look different for each of your students because the teachers have the ability to add some different resources to this page. Again, this is still a new thing, so new abilities are rolling out to teachers as well. So you're going to see a lot of change in this over time. But you can see here, my child has a direct link to Google Classroom, as well as his teacher pages and quick links, which today we're going over library resources and district resources. So we're not going to go into all of those. But once you log in, like some of these are going to ask for a password. And if you use the same device, once you've given that password once, you shouldn't have to give it again. Really? That's...
I think that's true.
Okay.
Yes, that's true. And then you're in.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's a district resource, just kind of a rule of thumb, the username is typically Alvin ISD and the password is usually Lone Star. for almost all district shared resources. So you can always start with that one. And then if you run into an issue where you're having a problem with the username and password, you can always email your school's librarian and they can help you with that.
And I'm going to log out and go back in as me, just so I can show you all 3 levels. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to log in using Google. And it remembers me, so we don't have to start from scratch. And so you'll see my Clever looks a little bit different, but you're going to see the district things that I have, but I want to focus mostly down here on the library resources. So we're going to go through those kind of quickly, and I'm going to show you each level. There are lots of similarities in these 3 links, but there are some things that are different too. So I'm going to kind of just show you. We're going to start with elementary. You will notice that we have the thing that kids go to most often is Britannica School. And so if you click on Britannica School, you will sometimes be asked to enter your district name.
Anita, you're not presenting the screen.
Share this tab instead.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
It was working from Clever. Thought it would. Are we good now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go.
So anytime you change your screen, you're going to have to click that other view tab.
Okay. So we're going to choose Alvin. You'll always have that option. And like Kelly said, generally the password is going to be Lone Star. So this is what the elementary encyclopedia looks like. So today, my littles were learning about penguins. Search. This is a full encyclopedia paid for by our library resources, and it is amazing. So you can see kind of the things that you can work with. You've got images, you have videos, you have citations. By clicking here, it automatically cites your information. You can tell it how you want to cite it and copy and paste that. You can print it, you can star it. You can also, if there's not quite enough information for you, you can change the reading level. Now, what I'm changing to here is what junior high people will see first thing. This will be where they go automatically, but this switches levels and you can kind of see how different that is in text and size and all of that.
Did you show them how? Sorry, you're gonna. We've done this many years together. We interrupt each other a lot, but it's only to make sure that we cover
Don't miss anything.
Every single detail for you guys. Did you tell them that I was responding to some questions?
Yes.
They can log in, and so they can save their articles. So they don't. Okay.
Okay. So you can log in with Google. You have everything right there. You can log into your personal account and then you can save your information. And then it's in your Google Drive and you don't have to keep coming back into this.
So if you would just sign in as a student with your just your student ID and password. And then when they're in an article too, if you click the star, the next time they log in, they have like a backpack. And they can organize their backpack so articles on the same content can be grouped together, which is really helpful for research, especially with like your junior high and high school kids. So they're not having to dig to find it every time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to go back out of Britannica and show you a little bit more.
Anita, we have a question that says, are the library resources presented today available during the summer? They're available all year.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I need to share that tab when I move. Okay, so you also have Encyclopedia Britannica in Spanish. We have a dual language on our campus, so that gets used quite a bit. You will also see Britannica Fundamentals. This is for our pre-K babies. Usually, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm going to show you. There are little games. There are little activities. There are all kinds of things that kids can do, and it's a different font. It's in a different It's just fun. And those are for probably mostly pre-K babies. I'm going to show you real quick National Geographic. That is another thing that is paid for and free. There are magazine articles. There are full text books. And you can search by whether you want magazines or books or videos or pictures, or you can do a search. Back on your penguins again.
Remember that you need to change the tab so that we
You
can
didn't do it again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me go.
I think, what if we change it to where we're on screen instead of tab?
I'm totally good with that.
We're going to try real quick. Since we're out of doing virtual as often as we used to, we haven't done this in a while. I want to make sure, I'm going to try a different option so that we don't forget to show you. Let's see if, Anna, let us know if the volume on this does anything weird, but I think this will be a better option. Now I have to find where you were. Is that where you were? No.
Yeah, that's close enough. I can go back.
Okay.
So this is the fundamentals. I'm going to go back to the elementary homepage, since you probably didn't see that, and see this is National Geographic Kids. And again, it has magazine articles. It has full text magazines. It has full text books, videos, and pictures. You can also just browse and enjoy reading. Lots of kids like to do that for their 20 minutes of reading at night or whatever. Or you can specifically search penguins and see they have 144 magazine articles that have the penguins in them. And so you can go, there's a whole book on penguins. So your kids could read that. The topics that they go across are amazing. There are many, many things. You can research that forever. Learn 360 is mostly videos, mostly content for, oh, it didn't make me do that. But your Clever login should work here too. No, you didn't do this to me last night. I'm going to try Learn 360 maybe in the junior high group. Maybe that will. It worked fine last night. Again, what Kelly was saying, things will change day to day. I want to show you a little bit about Gale. These are ebooks. We're going to talk about a little bit more about that later. This is Gale Elementary. I was looking at this. We were using this for information on biographies. So I have lots of kids doing different biographies. So you can search, you can see the amount of searching things that pop up, and you have this much text. You can keep reading. Got all kinds of information. And it has the citation at the bottom, which is certainly what we promote for kids to have access to that and to use that. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you really quickly teaching books. I love teaching books. I don't know whether you'll have a lot of access or need for it at home, but anytime your kid brings home a book, if they're doing an author study, I was doing Catherine Applegate last night because I love her. So it has some books that they will be read. It has, I was going to, where else? So I'm going to click on One and Only Ivan. And you have 45 total resources just on One and Only Ivan. It tells you the awards, the text complexity. You have Discover Like books. You have Meet the Author recording. All of this for just this one book. And it goes across the curriculum for all the way to high school level. And they are amazing. I just play with that if you're ever interested. It's also really good if your kid is stuck on a series and they read books like that. You can always go to Discover Like books and get ideas for other things for them to read. Quickly go back here. I'm going to go back to my Clever and I'm going to show you junior high just really quickly and then show you high school. One of the things I want to draw your attention to is the information on the left. This is the same stuff that's over here, but it is sorted in a different way. So if you wanted primary sources, you could find primary sources in these places. If you wanted newspaper articles, you can find newspaper articles in these places. But if you go here to the all resources, then you can sort it by or search by what you'd like. So if you want biographies, your kid's studying a biography needs that information, you can click here. It's very similar to what you saw at the elementary level, but you're going to see more depth, more complexity, and more choices for people. Again, you search. We were just working on this, so I happened to have been searching this. And you can see the complexity that's a little bit different. Quickly go back. I'm going to show you high school super fast. And again, you can just see there's more information. Lit Finder for your kids studying, doing AP Lit or environmental studies, or I'm not going to read all of these to you, but you can see that there's much more depth. And also you have your Spanish information here. Questions on any of that? Are you getting anything?
I have one about NG Connect Summit K-12, Lexia Core 5, Lexia Power Up, wanting to know the username and password.
Is that in middle school?
It's followed up with junior high. Also, junior high have Imagine Learning ? For math and reading.
I don't know if junior high does have Imagine Learning for math and reading. I don't know that answer.
I don't believe, this does not mean that they don't have it, but my junior high child has not been doing it this year. So,
and that's my guess is Lexia Power Up might be also
they do
content area.
Imagine Learning, someone else says.
Oh, thanks, Arlene.
So some of these resources, if we don't know, it's because it's not one of the district library resources, is that it actually comes through the content. So it should, if it's through the content, they should have that icon on their Clever dashboard where they can click to access it through their Clever dashboard. Mm-hmm. Or at least that's my understanding. Yes, it should be on there.
Yes, it should be on there. And your login should be, your Clever login should work for that. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I also wanted to show you at the junior high and high school, I wanted to show you Learning Express really quickly. Learning Express library is a great place to find tests and tutorials as your kids are working on STAR and all the other tests they keep taking from then on. I'll show you. Loading. Okay. So you have STAR prep, you have college prep, you have ELA skills that are from Texas specifically, computer skills, career skills and job, and career accelerator. So just an example, you can see if you have a third grader and you want them to take a practice test, you can get right in here and see old releases of these tests and practice, and so they get in the habit of knowing how to see the questions and how to answer them. And all of that is found in this Learning Express library. Everything else is pretty much the same.
Did you want to try Learn 360 from this level to see if
thank you.
It might be just an issue with that resource right now.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so Learn 360 is videos, printables, maps. I love the maps. You can see up here what you've got, but I'm going to show you maps. So if your kid is studying geography and they have to do some report on something, you can search. It'll do it by all, or you can search. I liked Texas cities. I thought that was interesting. And then you can United States maps and flags. You can do it by state. So I went down to Texas. And it gives you all kinds of different maps to go along with that. So sometimes if they're studying different countries, it's hard to have books that are completely up to date on everything because you have to be buying them every every year because things change so much. But resources like this will give you up-to-date and current information with that. Go back to that. Videos, games, and activities. So if you're just looking for fun things to do, there's STEM and STEAM and SEL and timely things. That might be helpful. Any more questions on these online resources?
Okay, so I see someone asked, where'd it go, if students have been taught about these resources. So all elementary school librarians do resource lessons. That does not guarantee that they have been taught every single one of these resources because our time is limited with them. So we try to prioritize which ones we teach them, the ones that we think they will use most often. And that's also why we have this session, so that we can empower parents, so that you can help them at home as well. Then I also had a question about, my son is 3rd grade. Can he access middle school resources too, or just elementary? I'm like Anita shows you when you're in Britannica, if you click on that next level in an article, it might bump them into the middle school Britannica.
Yep.
But can they click on any of the other?
Yeah. My kids, we've done that because sometimes the information isn't quite enough for what we're researching. So we'll bump them up. And sometimes a topic like the one I can think of is we've done animals, and that animal didn't show up until we did the searched in the high school. It also, in Britannica, it will also read to them. So the level of vocabulary isn't quite such a crisis. I didn't show you that. Let me show you that real quick.
Yeah, Britannica open there.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the fundamentals one. Sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to show them how to. Okay, I'm closing screens because it's driving me crazy. Have it read to them. I'm going to go back to my penguins. Am I taking too long?
No, I'm going to address this question while you're looking for that, though. I see that we had the question about how do parents log in without using the kids' Clever account. We're going to show you library websites in just a moment, and where these resources, a lot of them are linked to. That is one thing where it was in one spot on our district website, and then when I went there today, it wasn't there. So that's something I'm going to have to look into for you. And I can have Anna, when she shares the recording of this video, then I can type that up for you or give you a link for how you can access these.
But you can start with clever.com. You can start there. And this article, all the articles in Britannica School have this listen button, and it'll read to them. So if you're going up a level and it's a little tricky for them to read, they've got that support. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing that is not in the library resources that everybody in elementary has access to. It's called Pebble Go, and the address is pebblego.com. So this is one of the resources that your individual libraries have their own login. And you can write this down. I don't care. Our library access is Merrick, and our top secret password is school. But each library will have their own password for this. Now, because these are paid resources, we're not allowed to just put these passwords on the website. So you do need to ask or look to see if it's been shared. I usually have my teachers share in their Google Classroom just so that you have access to that. But this is really great for kindergarten, first and second, and my third graders use it quite a bit. You can search by this. I want a biography. I'm trying to get ideas. I can go get. And then I can go get. I can work that way. Or like today, we were doing George Washington. We were doing presidents this morning. You can search directly like that. And it is sorted with these headings that kids can get used to thinking, oh, where's my answer to my questions? Where are my answers to my questions going to be? If I need to know about his jobs, I'm going to look in life's work. If I want to know about his family, I might look in early work. And so and it will also read to you like that. So Pebble Go is a resource that everybody in Alvin has at the elementary level, but you might want to work with your librarian to get their login, or you can use Merrick School, and it's fine with me.
All right,
Other
we
thoughts?
can move on to the next one.
Okay. Do you want to switch?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh, sorry, guys.
Close
Let's close that one. We don't need to hear them too. So we also wanted to show you that every school, you're probably already aware of this, but every school has their own webpage. So you could do just a Google search for your school, or you can go to alvinisd.net, and then there's a drop-down menu where you can select your school. But on each school's webpage, in the blue banner, there's a tab for library. These aren't going to look the exact same, but they should all have the same information in them. So what we wanted to show you here is how you can search for books in our school's libraries. So if you'll click on online resources, again, everyone is going to look different, but Destiny Discover is what you would use to look for books in your school's collection. But you'll also see here that some of these other resources that we've been telling you about, there's direct links from the school's webpage. Let me click here. And then you would click your school. Most of the librarians, especially elementary, are not teaching the kids to interact with this screen. There's two versions. This is just the traditional layout. The Destiny Discover, which we're going to show you in a minute, is a lot more user-friendly. But just for an example, let's see, I have the book Twins on my desk. So I could search for twins here, and the student's able to see the book. And then if you go all the way to the right, then you can see 0 of 5 are available. That way students can see what books we have in our collection, but then also if they're available for them on their library day or not. Every campus is going to do a hold system differently. Some campuses are going to allow students to place holds on their own. I know, at least for me at Brothers, students have to request a hold through me, and I will go in and I'll place a hold on a book for them. That's really, can you think of anything else on this format that we should show them?
Not on Destiny.
Yeah, I don't love this. This is not the one that I recommend students to use. Right over here.
Okay. So I want to go to my website. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're right there.
Where? There. Okay. So you get to my website by doing just exactly what Kelly did. You go to Alvin ISD, you choose Merrick, you choose the library, and this is what, and mine looks very different than hers. But you see that I have the Bluebonnet bookmark forms that the kids fill out online. You have the catalog, you have my current newsletter, you have online resources, and some other stuff that pops up. So I'm going to go to the catalog, and when my kids log into the catalog, this is their view of exactly the same thing. And like Kelly said, it's a little more user-friendly. Why don't I see the rest of it? See all. Thank you. Why don't I see it all? Okay, I'm going to log in. One of the things that I teach the kids, if they want to interact with this website, they need to log in with their 6-digit number and their normal login, and then you can place holds. You can see a whole lot more information. You can also see the books you have checked out. I'll show you. I don't think I have anything checked out, but you can see the books that we have checked out, or when they're due. If you get an overdue notice, you've got, oh, there you have, in my stuff, you have checkouts, history, holds, favorites, finds. So if they're logged in, you can see that.
What I like too, underneath that My Stuff, this is just my personal opinion, but sometimes I feel like kids get stuck and they don't know what to check out next. And so then they have this lull in reading. And then as parents, I have an elementary school and a junior high school student. Then I'm like begging them, please just pick up a book. But underneath my stuff, if they've marked any books as favorites, it creates almost like a to be read list. So then they can't have the excuse of, well, I don't know what to read next, because they've created their own reading list.
Mm-hmm. So this, on my website, it has online resources, some information about the Merrick Library. This, you can go directly to Britannica School, and you can go directly to Pebble Go. You can also see recently added books, and if they're available, popular titles, ebooks, and we're going to show you that a lot more about ebooks later. Can we do this, or just do light box?
No, you can do that.
Okay, so in my library, these are the electronic books that I have available, and it kind of goes on and on. You could go and do a search up here for electronic books and get the same thing, all the books that can be read on your computer or on your device. So this is an example, and you'll notice that it doesn't say hold, it says open, and that's your cue that that's an electronic book. And then we have those that you can read on the computer.
The key with those, though, is they're going to have to be logged in. Just like Anita said, encourage your kids whenever they're interacting with this to log in with that 6-digit student ID number, because they will not be able to open the ebooks if they're not logged in.
And they won't see open, and they'll be frustrated, and we'll have to help them with that. So we also have...
Do you want to show them what it looks like when you do open one of them?
Sure. Once Upon a Camel is a Bluebonnet for this year. Darling book. I love this. So open now.
So it's that easy.
Once Upon a
when they're
Camel,
logged
Kathy
in.
Apple Pictures by Eric Roman for my darling Emma with love, K.A.
And you are good to go. So very simple. And we don't order every book as an ebook. I would say our electronic books are more limited than our regular books, but things like Bluebonnets that we want them to have access to electronically, I try to buy those every year, and then some with content. And then we have the Lightbox books that we have both the book and the, why are you not moving? Close. Okay. Lightbox books are books that we have the actual physical book and we have the ebook. So you could go to the library, grab the Sharks book, or you could click on this and open and see the information. And then they also have a bunch of videos embedded. They're amazing. The videos and the quality of the writing and the quality of the information is really great. You get the idea, but those are the Lightbox books, and we have those with lots of different content areas. And we have some audiobooks, close. And then we have some interactive ebooks. And then, of course, they can do the normal things like you do in a library and search by title, author, subject, or series, however they want to do that.
All right.
All
Any
right.
questions about Destiny before we move on? Give you a second to respond.
Username and password for Learn 360 would be that. You've done that. Okay.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take us out of Destiny then, and we're going to go over some more ebooks that you have available from the district. So if I go back to my web page, this icon right here is for Sora. I don't think that this one is on. Is this one in there, Clever? Do you know?
I don't think it is.
I don't think this one's on Clever, but the library web pages should have a link to it. This is going to have just more ebooks. I'm not even going to log in. You don't need me to log in. It looks a lot like Destiny. You search like you would in the program we were just showing you, but you can search for audiobooks there as well. And you're allowed to check out 2 or 3 at a time, I think. Do you remember? I'm sorry, guys. Either 2 or 3 at a time. And then it's a 2-week loan period, and it kicks it back, or you can turn it in early if you've finished early. Overdrive doesn't have as many books in it, but there's some that will be there forever. There's different languages in the Overdrive books. So that's one that's worth logging into and clicking around when you have time there. EBSCO books. That's from Clever. All right, going back to Clever, we go back to our library resources. And you'll see right here, it says elementary collection of ebooks. This is very limited. I wanted to show it to you because we have it, but you're probably going to find a lot more by using that Lightbox resource like Anita showed you, or even in Overdrive. But if you scroll down, like you see, they just have one biography there, but they have them by categories. All these are ebooks they have access to. So you get the idea there. And those you don't have to check out. Those you just click on and they open. Which means they're multi-user. So if you had 2 kids at home and they were on different devices and they both wanted to look at it at the same time, they could. Is there anything else with EBSCO books?
No. I was going to say, I forgot to mention that in teaching books, you have a whole lot of different books in different languages. You can select your language also up here at the top, and you can get materials in all of those languages. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
And a lot of these resources, if you'll just look for that select language bar drop-down menu, we have that. Like I don't think we showed you that in Britannica either. And I believe that Britannica will translate articles as well. One of my favorites is Tumble Books. And you can do just a Google search for Tumble Books and then choose Alvin. Again, especially elementary people, your school libraries probably have a link to Tumble Books on it. This is going to use the generic Alvin ISD username and the Lone Star password. Is it books? Oh, it is books. Ms. Phipps is right. All right, so that was books. I'll type that into the chat here in a moment. So it's username Alvin ISD and password books. Again, with this one, you can change not as many language options, but you can still switch between French and Spanish and English. You can do storybooks. It has read-alongs where it's going to like highlight the words as it goes along. Ebooks. So your ebooks are going to be more of like a chapter book level versus your storybook. And then the kids love graphic novels. I know oftentimes we think, oh, they're too big to be reading a book with pictures, but graphic novels are really rich in vocabulary. And if kids are tearing through them, they're reading and they're practicing those reading skills. However, this is also a good, like if you want to get a chapter book at school, you can show them this and they can look at a graphic novel from here at home. And then you see there's nonfiction and videos. Haven't really played much in language learning, but you can see we've got all the books listed here that are in different languages. So even for a junior high or high school kid that's taking like Spanish, you could go here and they could practice their Spanish looking at these books. All right. Anything else for Tumble Books?
Nope. And if it's not on your website, tumblebooks.com.
Yep. All right. So we did EBSCO books, Overdrive, Tumble Books. I think that was all for the ebooks from the district. Is there anything from district resources that we've missed?
I don't think so.
Okay. I think we've covered everything there. I'm going to do an extra little plug for the public library. The Brazoria County Library System is fantastic. And if you're not overwhelmed with the number of resources that we've given you, I'm going to give you some more. So if you go to Brazoria County's webpage, if you don't have a library card, I believe you can sign up for a library card here. You can always give them a phone call and they can help you with that. I had someone asking about audiobooks earlier. My family uses the public library for audiobooks all the time. They have a fantastic selection. And when you can log in with usually it's the barcode number of your library card and whatever password that you set when you signed up for your library card. If you're like me and you have forgotten that, you can call them and they are super nice and will help you reset that. So another thing that I really love, and this kind of ties in with creating that to be read list, when a reader gets stuck and they're not sure what to read next, you can come to the reading room. And that's the second to last tab here. And then you can go to Reader's Advisory, and they have this resource called Novelist Plus. And I had it all logged in. Of course, it logged me out. All right, so once you're logged in, you can just type in the title of a book that your child has read that they really enjoyed. And then when it pops up, if you click on the title, over here, it's going to give a suggestion of books that read similarly to the one and only Ivan, which I don't know all of these over here, but several of them, Flora and Ulysses, I agree with. Hoot, I agree with. So this does a really good job of offering up some what to read next books for your kiddo. In addition to that, they have tons of ebooks available for checkout. And you can go, if you go to the E branch, that's where it shows you all the different options you have. So you can log into these from your device, from a computer, from a tablet. They also have apps for these that you can put on your phone and you can check them out directly to your phone. And then when you're searching in the catalog, like, let's see, Magisterium is a book that I currently have checked out from them. You can see they have it in audiobook, but it'll show you right here, website, that it's available in Hoopla. And so then you can click it and then you can log in and check it out there. And this is just like Overdrive. It allows you to keep it for 2 weeks. If your 2 weeks runs up and it gets turned in and you check it out again, it saves the place where you left off and picks right back up from where you were. That's not the Magisterium that I was reading, by the way.
Oh,
but that's okay.
Sure,
So again, the Access 360, Hoopla, and Cloud Library, those are the three that they show on their webpage. And specifically for those of you with elementary kids who are doing Bluebonnet reading, Access 360 has almost all the Bluebonnet books available that are, not every book is available in ebook format, but the ones that are, they typically have in Access 360.
We have access to that. I can't answer that last question
Let's
that's
see.
over there.
So we see the question. She's talking about the one that says Audible. I am not familiar with any of our schools having Audible books. From my understanding, you have to have a personal subscription to Audible to purchase those.
That was my thought. So my guess is no, but you could always try it out.
That's Miss Merritt. Diane's the librarian there.
Should have had that list.
I think your librarian, all the librarians are super nice. I shouldn't preface it that way. But your librarian is going to be super helpful. So they should have their email address listed on their webpage. So I encourage you, if you have a question specifically about your individual campus, to reach out to them.
What other questions?
I know that was fast and furious and a whole lot of stuff. If you guys are ever playing around with these resources and you get stuck, you can always email myself or Anita, and we are more than happy to help, even if you are not from our campus.
Absolutely.
And we will be sharing the recording with all of you. I have your email, so I'm going to be sending the recording probably by Monday or Tuesday after I clean up a little bit the beginning. We have to edit it a little bit, but that way you can go back and, review a little bit what was discussed today.
What other questions do you have? Did we answer big kid versus little kid? Does anybody feel like, oh, you didn't tell about things that are from my age level or anything? Feel free to.
And I just opened the microphones, so if anybody wants to talk now and ask question, speaking, the microphones are open now. Okay. I don't think.
I joined a little bit later, and so maybe this already was discussed. But I'm curious about keeping with my child's reading level and the best way to do that with these resources.
Tell me what age your child is.
He's a kindergartner, but he's already at reading level 4. And actually, his teachers even tried 5 and 6 with him with success as well.
Our library resources are not leveled like your level readers are.
Okay.
So that's tricky. You can search in Destiny.
And you should have a link. I don't know if you were here when we showed you how to get to Destiny, but if you go to your school's homepage and go to the library tab, there should be a link for Destiny, which is just the name of the circulation system that we use to check books in and out.
I feel like maybe go to back office for reading level. Is that right?
They don't have access to back office.
Isn't that what it looks like yours? Yeah, this is back office.
Oh,
so
sorry, guys.
You do have that. It won't look exactly like this, but
yes, I see it. I'm following along with you.
Oh, great.
So I feel like you can put your reading level in down here. I don't think it'll do 4 to 6.
I think it's grade level.
I think it's grade level rather than your reading level. But you can start playing with things that way.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anita and Kelly, are you guys familiar with Epic? I know that there's a fee for parents, but I know that during the pandemic we were using Epic and it was free. Right now I'm seeing there's a charge monthly, but Epic is really good because that one will give you the option of looking and searching with reading level, and they have great selection of books.
Get Epic is really great, and you can sign up as a parent, and I believe they give you 2 hours free a week outside of school time. So the kids have access. If their teacher sets it up, they have access during the school day, but it's not an additional cost unless they're using it outside of school hours. It does, I think maybe in Tumble Books you can search by level. Yes. As well.
Yes.
So I think Epic's wonderful. If you're wanting something similar but not wanting to pay a monthly fee, then I would use Tumble Books.
Mm-hmm. And it's all free with an educator, and they'll give you a code. But like Kelly said, that's just during the school day.
Thank you. I appreciate the information.
Sure. The other things that level, that's back to your encyclopedia and some of those Gale resources where you can do, start here. So this is kindergarten level. information. Um, or you can do, there's your biomes of the world. And so this is more on that reading level. Also, thinking about what you're saying is you're going, if you do a regular encyclopedia and want them to do their penguins, and if the reading level is too high, you can just have the machine read it to you by doing, where is it?
The play button.
Play, thank you.
You just click the play button right here and it reads it aloud.
Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have anything. We don't have accelerated reader anymore. Someone asked, do we have something similar to AR to monitor reading comprehension? We do not have a program to do that. My suggestion for you is maybe reach out to your child's classroom teacher and ask if they can give you like some generic comprehension type questions that would help your student when reading. So maybe if they have their 20-minute reading homework afterwards, you have a set of questions that you ask them that help them practice those comprehension skills.
And Teaching Books has comprehension questions in that too. If you go to that teachingbooks.net and type in your actual book that they're working on.
Any other questions?
Miss Long, do you have a question? We see that you raise your hand.
No, that was a mistake. I asked
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Then they're done that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Anita and Kelly. And parents, if you have any other questions that maybe you have later today, you have my email. I send you, Ana Pasarela, the one that send you the reminder, so you can send me the questions, and I'll make sure to forward that to Kelly and Anita. But they are putting their emails on the chat, so you can email them directly.
Please do. Please do.
Yes. And like they said, we have great librarians, so you can always email directly your school librarian. I mean, that they might have answers that are more accurate to their website and what they're doing in their school. But always reach out to any one of us if you need any other help related to this. Thank you so much to everybody and have a wonderful day. I will be sending the recording next week between Monday and Tuesday.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, ladies.
No problem.
Thank you so much, lady. This is great, and I will share the recording with you too as
Oh,
well,
good.
just so that you have it, and if you want to share with your parents directly.
Perfect.
That's great.
All right. I think that I might send it to all the librarians, so that way maybe the librarians wants to share with all.
That would be great. One of them actually asked us if we were going to have a recording that we could share with them.
That would be good, because I think that
perfect.
it's always great when we send it directly from, the schools. The parents are more willing to open the emails when it's coming directly from their school. So let me clean it up a little bit, especially the beginning where we went on, and then I'll put it together and send it back to you.
All right.
You're
Thank
the
you,
best.
Anna.
Thank you.
so
Have a good
much.
day.
You
Take
too.
care.
Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.